most people are the least willing to admit. Insecurity spending. This is when you buy things not because you need them or even really want them, but because you want to be perceived a certain way. The watch that signals success. The outfit that makes you look like you've got it together. The car that says you're doing well, even if your savings account tells a completely different story. And look, I get it. We live in a world where image matters, where first impressions are real, where people do judge what they see. That part isn't in your head. But here's the psychological trap underneath it. Most insecurity spending is about filling a gap between who you are right now and who you want people to think you are. You're essentially paying money to perform a version of yourself that doesn't actually exist yet. And the brutal reality is, it never works. Because the confidence you're trying to buy from the outside never fixes the insecurity on the inside. So you buy the thing, you feel good for maybe a week, and then the gap opens back up and you need something new to fill it again. It becomes a loop. The fix here is simple but uncomfortable. Before any non-essential purchase, ask yourself one question. Am I buying this because I actually want it or because I want someone else to see me with it? That 1 second of honesty will save you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. I promise you that. Lifestyle inflation, and this one destroys more wealth quietly than almost anything else. Here's how it works. You start making more money. Your income goes up, whether from a raise, a new job, a side hustle, whatever. And instead of letting that extra money compound and build, you immediately find new ways to spend it. The apartment gets upgraded. The going out budget expands. The subscriptions pile up. The treat yourself moments get more frequent and more expensive. And here's the contrast I want you to see clearly. There are two types of people who get a salary increase. The first person gets the raise, feels good, upgrades their lifestyle to match, and 6 months later is just as financially stressed as before, just with nicer things. The second person gets the raise, keeps their lifestyle almost identical, and routes that extra money straight into investments and savings. 5 years later, those two people are in completely different financial universes, and it had nothing to do with how much they earned. This is what keeps people stuck. Not income, not opportunity. The automatic impulse to spend more the moment you have more. If I were you, I'd make a rule right now. Every time your income increases, at least 70% of that increase goes directly to savings or investing before you ever touch it. Don't let yourself adjust to the new number. Lock it away first, and then live on what's left. This is when your spending isn't connected to a real want or need. It's connected to a feeling. You're bored, so you buy something. You're stressed, so you order food you don't really need. You're lonely, you're anxious, you're frustrated with how your life is going, and instead of sitting with that discomfort, you spend your way out of it, just for a second, just enough to feel something different. The real issue here is that your brain learns this pattern fast. Every time you spend to escape a feeling, you're reinforcing the connection between discomfort and spending. And over time, it becomes automatic. You don't even realize you're doing it anymore. You just reach for your phone, open the app, and something's in the cart before you've had a conscious thought about it. The way to break this is to build a pause into the process. When you feel the urge to spend, especially when you're in a negative emotional state, give it 48 hours. Just 48 hours. If you still want it after 2 days and it makes rational sense, buy it. But 9 times out of 10, the emotional trigger has passed and you don't even remember why you wanted it. That one habit alone, the 48-hour rule, can cut hundreds of dollars of emotional spending out of your month. And that is the difference between looking rich and actually building wealth. Because in 2025, those two things have never been further apart, and the pressure to look rich has never been higher. Social media has made it incredibly easy to perform financial success. You can look like you're winning while you're quietly drowning. And the trap is that a lot of people, especially guys in their 20s, are optimizing for the look instead of the reality. They're spending on the visible stuff, the clothes, the going out, the vacations for the content, the things that photograph well. And they're neglecting the invisible stuff. The investments, the emergency fund, the debt being paid down, the skills being built. Let me be direct about this. Nobody who is actually building real wealth is spending their energy trying to look like they have it. The people who are genuinely ahead financially are boring about it. They're quiet about it. They're not performing it for an audience. And if I'm being honest, the loudest people about money, the ones driving the flashy cars and posting the lifestyle content, are usually the ones whose finances would terrify you if you saw the actual numbers. Don't let social media redefine what success looks like for you. Real wealth is private. It's boring. It's a number in an account that nobody else can see. That's the goal. This is when you actually do well. You save a solid amount. You build up a little cushion. You make progress, and then something inside you blows it. A big unnecessary purchase. A night out that goes too far. A sudden investment in something you hadn't planned. And suddenly you're back close to zero. This happens because of something called identity mismatch. If deep down you don't see yourself as someone who has money, as someone who is financially disciplined, as someone who is good with finances, then having money will feel uncomfortable. it will feel like it doesn't belong to you, and your subconscious will find a way to return you to the identity it knows. This is why lottery winners go broke. This is why people who get out of debt often end up right back in it. The external situation changed, but the internal identity didn't. The whole point here is that lasting financial change requires an identity shift, not just a behavior shift. You have to start seeing yourself as someone who builds, not just someone who earns and spends. And that shift starts with small, consistent actions that tell a new story about who you are. Keeping a savings streak alive, investing even a small amount every month, tracking your spending without judgment. Every one of those actions is a vote for a new identity, and the more votes you cast, the more that identity becomes real. Here's the truth I want you to leave this video with. Your spending is a mirror. It reflects your insecurities, your emotional state, your self-image, and your deepest beliefs about what you deserve and what's possible for you. And you can't fix the reflection by arguing with the mirror. You have to change what's standing in front of it. You don't have a money problem. You have a behavior problem. And behavior problems can be fixed, but only once you're honest enough to look at them directly. That's the hardest part. And the fact that you watched this far means you're already ahead of most people. Now go do something with it. If you got value from this video, drop a like down below. It genuinely helps more than you think. Hit that subscribe button if you want more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.